Ask Me Anything, episode 128, Friday, the 30th of April. And for whatever reason, YouTube is on some bullshit and the live chat is not working. All right, fixed it. Swear to God, man, one of these days, I'm going to leave YouTube behind. All right. State your name, state your claim. Don't be shy. The Viking is here. You know the drill. You know the deal. Ask me anything, and I'll give you my honest, unbiased expert opinion on whatever it is that you need me to chime in on. Pieter Nernaas kreeg net een melding. Ja, Pieter, maar ik zag zelf de chat niet. Als je het onder de chat hebt. Dus ik heb de chat pop-out moeten doen. The big advantage of live sessions is it actually sends a push message to all the people that are subscribed to my channel. That's unlike what happens when I post a regular video. Hence me not really posting regular videos anymore, as they don't tend to show up in most people's feeds. Shout out to Pieter Nernaas, though, from my hometown, D-Town Dessel. All right, we got 3 thumbs up and no questions yet. I like where this is going. I gotta say, my hair and skin is looking extra good today, man. Your boy is looking better with the years. Viking, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad are your bad days? I never go below a 5. I never go below a 5. I haven't been truly depressed in a long time. I attribute that to getting older. The older you get, the more desensitized you become to life, in a sense, which has its pros and its cons. But one of the biggest pros is that I don't really go that deep anymore when I get sad or when I get low. I'm able to put it into perspective. The best way not to feel like the best method to not get depressed or feel bad is to stay busy, stay active, always have things to do. Andrew, do you believe karma to be real? As in good karma and bad karma. What's up, rats? Andrew, I don't believe in karma in the typical popularized sense where it's like you do good things are gonna happen. No. Obviously, I do believe in general, if you're a shitty person, then you're more likely to have shitty things happen to you than when you're a good person, because people are gonna fuck you over. I do believe in energy in terms of attracting what you put out there, but not karma. For me is a little bit too, people try to make it sound too binary, where it's like if you do something bad's gonna happen to you. It doesn't work like that. Viking, does it take a lot of mental energy to stay positive as you do? Yes. That's why I'm exhausted by 9 p.m. After 9, I'm done. Like, energy is our most valuable equity, and it's really hard for people to understand that lesson, but you should really try to make a conscious effort every day of conserving your energy, not investing it in silly things. But yes, it does take mental energy to stay positive. But then I also have learned not to be flying so high all the time. So I try to manipulate that by choosing to be more leveled out as a basic mindset. Meaning I'm not chasing happiness all the time. Not every day has to be an amazing day. Yes, I do practice meditation. Absolutely. Stars on Mars. Gym and food and wine. Sounds like a fun Friday night, buddy. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? My optimal vision of myself in 5 years. TEDx talks, doing this shit in person because I'm better in person. There's a lot of people who are better behind the screen. There's a lot of people who hide their, who are able to hide their insecurities behind a camera lens or just, they prefer talking to a phone. Me, I thrive off of real life interaction. So I would love to do this in real life. I want to do public speaking gigs. I want to do keynote presentations, travel the world, man, do shows. That's where I see myself ultimately. Or maybe I'll be working on a beach in Colombia selling mojitos. Shit, I'll be happy with that too. Whatever comes my way, baby, you can come my way. My girl told me today that my hair is getting a little bit too long. I beg to differ. I think it's hitting its optimal length. What do you guys think? I used to be happy and felt lots of positive emotions. The lesson in this life can change overnight. That is true. That is true. But at the same time, it can swing both ways. The issue that I have with trauma and people sticking to trauma is why do we only stick to trauma? Why do we only cling on to negative experiences from our past? We never do the opposite. You know what I'm saying? So, what is the opposite of trauma? The opposite would be a extremely beautiful life event in which you reached a very high level of satisfaction, happiness, endorphins. You know what I'm saying? For example, getting married to the woman of your life or having a passionate night with the most attractive woman you've ever seen, or the day when you started your own company and it became a success. Though no one ever clings on to the positive things that happened in our past. We're just like, yeah, but what's next? No one ever brings that up. No one ever takes strength out of that. But we do choose to take pain out of our traumas. Am I making sense? Does that make sense to you guys? Am I explaining this correctly? We always we point at traumas as reasons for being fucked up, damaged, scarred. But we never say, yeah, but today I'm also like this in a good sense because, I was the prom king of my high school, or I rebuilt a car with my dad and we drove it across the US. We did a road trip, or I went to Thailand and had an amazing trip, or you know what I'm saying? Negative experiences are wired differently. They leave a greater imprint than positive ones, likely to evolutionary reasons. It's neuro. Yeah, I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. I feel like it's by feel like it's very cultural as well. I feel like it's very cultural. I feel like it's also by design. I feel like we're just taught to think that way. Like even euro is subjective in a sense. Like we've been proven like if if fucking monks can redesign and re-engineer the entire way their reality is shaped, then clearly neuro is also subjective. You can rewire your neurogenetics. Like, so then why wouldn't we not have the capacity to switch it up and take the same strength from life-changing positive life events as the pain we take from traumas? You're thinking about growing out your mustache. Dude, I am growing it out. This is me growing it out. Lorenz, do you have a blog? No, not really. I'm gonna redo my whole website though, and I'll use that as a blog. Epigenetics. I'm not familiar with that. All right, guys, we got 12 people in here. Don't be shy. Ask me anything you want to know, because before you know it, I'll be gone. I'll be gone. Maybe, I'm never coming back. Billy Madison Shampoo. Hey, darling, here's my question. How are you? On top of the moon, looking like $1 million. I look like Brad Pitt when he was in Troy. You keep mentioning dead relatives don't matter in the grand scheme of things, and one should basically move on right away. Not right away. I don't think I ever said that. Are you advocating this depression of grief? I really don't remember. I don't remember ever saying that. No, grief is absolutely necessary, totally necessary. My apologies if I ever may have misworded something that made it seem as if I was saying that you're not supposed to grieve. You're absolutely. I don't think you should move on right away. I just don't think that you should still 2 years after the fact still be talking about something or agree. Like there's a time and a place for everything. Basically, you help your clients, but you as a mentor or a coach is helping you in your life. Literally 10 minutes before this live, my mentor has left. So she's a very successful marketeer, digital media expert in Belgium. She's been on my podcast. Her name is Chloe Billars. Um, she's writing a new book. She's big time, and she comes here to literally uh, teach me. She's teaching me. She's coaching me. So yes, I do. Epigenetics is changing your genetical makeup, DNA through experiences. Okay, I'm still grieving over my grandpa. He died in 2007. Yeah, I mean, but are you like sure? I can. I mean, we're all still grieving our loved ones, right? But does that mean that you wake up every day you cry? Probably not, right? Like I'm sure you've moved on in terms of still in terms of taking up daily activities again. That's what I'm saying. You know, that's all I'm saying. I smile. That's great. That's the way it should be. Ah, you downloaded it, Surya. That's awesome, man. Surya, you have. Did you find Indian subtitles for those movies? SRT files. I must have misconstrued your take. When should one move on? Whenever it feels right, which will never happen. One should move on once you start seeing that the process of you grieving is starting to impact your present happiness and your present reality. Um, if X amount of time after the event, you're still a mess, you're still depressed, you're still angry and hurt and all these things, and your partner is like, look, I understand, I have empathy, but I have no interest in being with someone who's just unhappy all the time. That's when you should realize I'm actually hurting myself over something that has already been done that I can't change. You got English subtitles, dude. I'm happy. Surya, that's so awesome, man. Faking it only works to a certain extent. You can fake a smile, but what are you truly feeling? I'm not telling you to fake things. I'm just telling you to make a conscious decision. No one said anything about smiling. You don't have to smile for anything. Sleep Queen, shout out to Michigan. How you doing, girl? If something happens to my parents, I'm done. Well, they're gonna die one day, buddy. I got bad news for you. So then you're gonna be done one day, way before you're supposed to be done. And no one's gonna care. You're gonna just self sabotage your life. The world's gonna keep spinning. We literally forgot that we are animals, man. We look at pigeons and we look at ants and we look at fucking cats and we're like, ha ha ha, we're so superior. And it's like, no, we're just animals. We're just a little bit smarter than them. But at the end of the day, our lives don't mean shit. So if you're gonna approach life from the angle of, if such and such dies, I'm never gonna recover. Like, good luck. You're gonna have a shitty life. That's all I'm saying. Don't have to agree with me, but you know I'm right. Random. I'm 35. I still cannot understand women. Do you understand women? Hell no, dude. You don't have to try to like. Trying to understand women is like trying to solve a Rubik's cube that is changing colors every 10 seconds. And why would you want to understand women? You're a man. You don't have to. Be a man. Set your own boundaries. Decide for yourself how far you're willing to go in certain things, and then just let it be. That's the problem with men, man. They try to understand women. They try to. There's nothing to there's nothing to understand. It's like you're trying to understand like men. They also look at things. They approach things from rationality, common sense, and then women are just like they feel things, and then you're like, yeah, but this is how it is. But then again, everything is subjective. So my best advice to you is, man, don't try. Just make out for yourself how far you're willing to go along. Learn to say that you're wrong. Learn to say that you know. Learn to admit defeat in things in which you know you're right, but you have to learn how to do that. If you are gonna be that guy that's like, if I'm right, I'm right. I don't care, who it is. Like, good luck, and that goes for any relationship. Sometimes you just gotta be like, yep, you're right. Charge it to the game. Charge it to the game. That's what it is, and that's what makes women fun. Like, why would you want to be with someone that's just as rational as you? It's not. I almost got ate by a pit bull the other day. Jesus. Sleep Queen, you like my analysis? A woman is to be loved, not understood. But like some men, it's also hard to understand some men. It's hard to understand people in general. So it's not just women. Every relationship is contingent on the understandings and values of each person. Yeah, absolutely. And you're never going to have that perfect match. You're always going to have to sacrifice in certain areas. And if you're not willing to do that, well, then you're better off single. Lupe, I don't understand people in general. Don't think gender is normal construction. Those gender opinions of the 70s are so old fashioned and covered up of not dealing with your own complexity. Um, don't think gender is normal construction. Well, so you mean a biological construction, right? Like, I hate to break it to you, but at the end of the day, men are men and women are women, and you can't say that they're the same. Like, biologically, they're different by design. And no matter how many woke people try to redefine that, sorry, you're never going to be right. Never. I don't mind. I can call you her, it, his, him, whatever. I don't care. Whatever makes you happy, that's fine. But you're never gonna like, we're talking about science here, guys. It's sheer science. Like, you literally can look at, you know I mean, let's not even go there, guys. But at the end of the day, gender is not just a construction. Gender is a construction. Biological sex is different. It's even described as sexual medicine. Okay, we're doing semantics. I get it. My bad. I didn't know you were doing semantics. All right, so gender is a construction, biological sex is different. Right, okay, I got you. Hmm. So let me Google the definition of gender before I say something else. Gender definition. Either of the two sexes, male and female, especially when considered with reference to social and cultural differences rather than biological ones. The term is also used more broadly to denote the range of identities. Okay. Hey, all right. Okay. That's interesting. Okay, in that case, I don't have a problem with you saying gender is a construction. Will a society exist without a common morality? Is it relative? Is morality important? We don't even have a common morality right now. So, yes, society exists without it. Absolutely. Morality is subjective, it's all subjective. I just don't feel like these discussions are really that important when we're talking about gender and stuff. Like, really, guys, at the end of the day, unless you're living in Eastern Europe in some small ass shitty village, or you're living in some hyper Catholic communion, like, you can pretty much be who you are. Like, you really can. There's plenty of cities, there's plenty of places where you can move to where you can just be free. Chico, tell us about how you get the faith. Do you believe everything happens for a reason? I delude myself in believing everything happens for a reason to stay um, mentally sane. Do I truly believe? Probably not. But facts are not always the way to go. You need to work with what works for you. And if you need to lie a little bit to yourself, if you need to convince yourself that your jaw getting chopped off was the equivalent of Peter Parker getting bit by a radioactive spider and in turn turning you into a superhero, then roll with it. At the end of the day, all I know is I'm looking good, I'm feeling good, I had a bunch of bullshit happen to me, I'm still here. If it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. So sure, things happen for a reason. Now, if you put a gun on my head and you put me on a lie detector, well, am I going to answer that question the same way? Debatable. That being said, how do I get faith? I was ego. It's just ego, man. It wasn't about faith. It was about fuck this shit. I'm not gonna go out like a dude that died from cancer at 24 or 25. I was like, I am gonna get what I'm owed because I always told myself that I was gonna amount to something. So I'm gonna have to overcome this cancer. I don't play Counter Strike. I used to ages ago. It's funny, I know that there's no creator, but sometimes I pray. Yeah, but I think that you're also talking to yourself when you're praying, which is really good. I talk to myself all the time. Nothing wrong with that at all. So Chico, yeah, man, I hate to disappoint you, but um, you have to make the things that happen to you make sense. I have to make cancer the best thing that has ever happened to me. That gives me the fire and the fuel to keep going. Do you not believe in a higher power? Not in the sense that it is directing our lives and intervening. Not really. I believe in energy. I do believe in that. I believe in the law of attraction, but I don't believe that we all have the divine purpose which is mapped out for us. Do you believe some people in this world are truly evil? Yeah, sure. Sure. Psychopaths exist. Self encouragement is vital. We support you too from the distance for the positive vibes. Thank you. Appreciate that. And I support you guys. But yeah, at the end of the day, like it's about making things work for you. Like that's what it's all about. And I keep saying the same thing over and over that that's really how I feel. When I was younger, I always thought I had a big ego and it was a bad thing. And now I look back on it and I think if I'd never had that big ego, I never would have made it to where I am today. Literally. Do you believe there is something after death? Nope. Mm-mm. No, sir. Look at Michael Jordan. Anyone that has seen The Last Dance, the guy is absolutely insane. He literally made up things all the time that didn't happen to motivate himself, to push himself. Yet we praise him as if he's a hero. I love Jordan too. Don't get me wrong, but it's really a matter of just convincing yourselves to the point where your perception becomes reality. Chico, you're very much allowed to disagree, my friend. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe after I pass, I'll be like, fuck, there's actually an afterlife. Imagine that. I am way closer to actually believing that we're living in a simulation than actually believing in an afterlife. We studied Hitler in American schools. Do you know what journalists today think about Hitler? Journalists today, they're super embarrassed. They're ashamed about Hitler, man. It's such a sensitive topic. Such a sensitive topic still. Yeah, don't bring up Nazis or anything Hitler related to German people. They are very embarrassed because of that. Chico, let's see, my friend. My take on assisted suicide. If it's euthanasia, I'm down with it. If it's your friend trying to kill himself and you go lend him a hand, um, couldn't be me. I wouldn't do it. You would have to convince someone else. That's just me. That's my opinion. So, what's my take on it? If you really want to die, if you really feel like death is better than life, shit. I just can't say that I if that's really what you want, like I feel bad for you, but at the same time, I'm not gonna tell you what to do. I'm not gonna tell you like, no, you can't. Like how to deal with someone who likes to intimidate you. Stand up to them. Stand up strong. You have to just like pick a moment in time where you're gonna be like, fuck this shit. I'm not gonna take it any longer. Quintaras. You have to stand up, my man. And that'll be an epic moment in your life. You'll never forget that. And trust me, they won't see it coming. Why should Germans feel ashamed of Adolf Hitler when Americans ignore their slave owning ancestors? That's a great question. What do you see as the most striking difference between Americans and Europeans in general? Americans just have a more individualistic oriented culture. It's more about the individual. It's more about the people in America are just they tell them earlier on that they're more special than they are. Um, I think Europeans have more humility in general. Even though I don't like to talk about Europeans because there is no such thing as a European identity. So, for example, French people also have a lot of arrogant traits. Um, so the Dutch people, um, English people, Italian people. So there's not really, and then you look at Scandinavians. They're super introverted, humble. So there's no such thing as a European identity. But yeah, American people are just more like it's more about the individual than anything else. And they're also convinced that most of the American people I know, they still feel like they're living in the best country in the world, whereas people in Europe, I just haven't met many people in Europe that truly feel like their country is the best. Besides French, English, and Italian people, they also think that they're the best. Their country is the best, at least. Do you like Star Trek original? No, I'm a Star Wars guy. Star Wars guy checking in. Mm. Oh man, long ass week. Coaching a lot of clients, man. It's been tiring. I've been taking on new clients, and it's been intense. In terms of cultural open-mindedness, I put the French and Americans in the same camp. Yes, I totally agree. I absolutely agree. When I would go backpack in South America, there would always be any hostel you go to, there would be like a bunch of people, like just from all over the world, and everyone would be talking with everyone. There would always be like a little mini group in the corner, and it would always be French people, and they would just exclude themselves and have their own little French get together. That's a real thing. That's my experience, at least. What's up, Altum? How you doing, boy? Speaking of coaching, guys, I'm still taking on new clients. My name is Lorenz, for those who hadn't noticed. That's my email address, lorenz.reese@gmail.com. If you're trying to turn your life around, if you want to achieve self love, get out of a toxic relationship, or get over a depression, you can email me and we can do this. We can have video calls privately. We can make it happen. It starts with you, though. It starts with you reaching out to me. You have to push the first domino. Otherwise, things will never change. All right, guys, I'm about to wrap this one up. The French mindset that their country is the best. it's all it all comes from history. Don't forget the French used to run the world. Same with the English. They were running things. France, England, and Spain, they were running the world. And that has been lodged into their DNA. It's normal. If I was French, I'd feel the same. They come from a long line of conquerors. Before you go, Lorenz, please have an amazing afternoon. We love you. Thank you, Altum. I appreciate that. I want to say thanks. Well, then say thanks, my man, for what you do. Well, I don't feel like I'm doing anything special today. I'm just talking some shit, but hey, I'm enjoying it. Sleep queen, go get some sleep. It's 4:30 on a Friday here. I'm about to clock out. Enjoy my time, man. Later on, we're gonna French man, I'm all over the place. We're gonna visit some friends that just had a new French bulldog, so we're gonna play with the dog. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be all fun. Guys, any last questions? Seems like no one is running the world now. It's China and the US, man. They're the two superpowers. US is still in charge, make no mistake about it, but China is right there. Better than Frenching a bulldog for sure. I don't know what that means. Anyway, guys, I'm out. I love you. Barely, exactly. But you still are, so until you aren't. Peace!